Hey, happy Friday. How are you guys today? For those of you who don't know me, my name's Kathleen Borsch, and I am the owner and the maker of the products that you find at Knots of Grace. And today is Friday. So, what I do on Fridays is I come to you here with a little update of what's going on at Knots of Grace and what I call Feature Friday. Usually what I do is I will show you some of the new products that we have in the shop, but this week I am late. I'm about 8 minutes late to the party, so I apologize for those of you who might have been waiting. I hope you pop in. But I scheduled an appointment for, to service my vehicle, and it took scheduled it for 11 o'clock, thinking it would take about an hour, and it took about two hours. So that's okay. I don't have a problem with it, but unfortunately, it just caused me to get back late, and so I started this late. So I'm sorry about that. But what I wanted to do today is I wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit of something, and then also give you a little bit of insight into um, a little history into something at Knots of Grace. So if you pop in, I'd love for you to say hello, and so on. So anyway, so what I do every morning, one of the routines I have is I get on. We have a little room that we've designated as our exercise room, and in there we have a treadmill, and so in the mornings I get on, or sometimes it's the afternoons, sometime during the day I get on the treadmill, and I'm usually watching podcasts or listening to, actually now I'm also listening to Bible in a Year, from Ascension. So if you haven't watched that, just a quick plug, I recommend it completely. It was something that came out a couple years ago, and I'm watching the replay on it and absolutely love it. But anyway, I digress. So I'm on the treadmill, and usually I do what Scott Smith from Motivation to Move calls a long, slow burns, which means I'm on there walking, at a reasonable pace, but not, at a I can hold a conversation with you pace. Um, but I go for about an hour, like just shy of an hour every time, as long as I have enough time to do it. And so while I'm on there, I have a little note notepad. It's actually, old paper. This is something I learned from my mom. I take paper that it doesn't have personal information on the back. And if it's only printed on one side, I will reuse the back side. So I've created these little notepads, and I have a pencil sitting on my treadmill, so that while I'm going, it's like being in the shower when you have that moment of clarity and you have an idea. I have those moments also on the treadmill. And so usually what comes out of it, I have these little notes. I'm trying to find, I have a bunch of them here, but then sometimes, oh, I don't have them. Like, for example, here's one, if you can see it. And I even wrote afterwards, notes from the treadmill. And it said, God, how can I walk with you today? And then I said, kind of wrote in there, how do you want me to walk with you today? And so I put, most of the time I rewrite them in my little notebook, but this time I actually put the note in it itself so that it could trigger. I'm very visual, so it could trigger in my mind what I was feeling that day when I felt like I needed to write this down. So as you can see, it's like, it's like those moments when you have in a shower and you're like, oh my gosh, I just have had an epiphany. So I don't remember what I was listening to that day, but this is what came out of it. But anyway, one of the things that also came out was I realized that I haven't talked about this. I don't think I've talked about this in a public forum before. And so I have my little stand here of that is on my table on my desk, and the first thing that's on it. So when I have these little notes, you can see I put them on here so that way they trigger to take some action on them. And one of them is, I wrote down, why 12% for our VIP group. So for those of you who aren't part of our VIP group, I will tell you about it real quick, and then I will give you the little history behind the 12%. So I have a VIP group, and we meet in two areas. One is an email. So the majority of people right now are, and that's where we started, is through the email. And so I have a list of people who I communicate with, and who are VIPs, and what they get as a V. And then I have another group, which a lot of the same people are in that group, and we're starting to build that, is here on Facebook. And so if you wanted to join either group, you can, and you can do it in a couple of ways. There's what I have here on the screen is you can go to knotsofgracevip.com. You'll see a picture with me. You'll see it, it'll pop up. It's a basically a white background, and you'll see me on it. So you landed in the right spot. And what do you get being a VIP? Well, the biggest benefit is you get a discount, and you get a discount year round. And that discount is 12% off year round. And so you also get exclusive discounts that I don't give to anyone else. For example, this entire month, we are celebrating the second anniversary of our email list and our newsletter. And so I'm having weekly sales, and those are just for the VIPs. So those who are not VIPs don't have access to those discounts during the month of May. Now, I may run other specials or something like that outside of that, but I give exclusive discounts to my VIPs because they've decided to join me on this journey. So, and then you also get a monthly newsletter from me. I send weekly hug inspirational videos directly to your inbox first thing Monday morning, and other things like I'll send tips, or I'll send different information. If something comes to mind, I will share it with my VIPs, usually before I share it with everybody else. Sometimes it's in tandem, but usually it's before. So those are the things. So like I said, one of the things that you get as a VIP, whether you sign up in the Facebook group or you sign up through knotsofgracevip.com, you get 12% off year round. And so 12%, that seems like such a random number. Usually you see, like, if you log onto somebody's website, or an e-commerce website, and it'll say you want 15% off, or you want 10% off, blah blah blah. I wanted this to be something that I could sustain as a small business year round and be something unique, specific to what I am selling, which is faith related products. And so as I was thinking through this, someone was saying 11%, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Um, you know, Something else didn't sound right. Like, all these different numbers just didn't sound right. And then 12 came into my mind. And the 12 was because I was thinking about what it is I'm making. Um, 12, 12 apostles, the what are we trying to do as Catholics? We are trying to become saints. Every day is a journey. We are on the road to sainthood, whether or not we are acclaimed, through the formal methods, or we just keep moving towards that. That is what we want. So we all are disciples of Christ, and I just thought about the 12 apostles, and that is where the 12% year round came about. That's how it came about. Was I wanted to make sure that we all remember the start of all of this, was way back when 12 people chose to follow Christ and his message, and then led us all to join in that journey. And so that's the why behind 12% year round. So when you become a Knots of Grace VIP and you join our group, you will get a special code. And that special code is one that you can use year round, but it's only for my VIPs. So I wanted to give you at least that today. The other thing that I wanted to share with you is this link, and I know it's a lot, and I will paste it into the comments below, so it's a more clickable thing for you. And it's also, if you go to the info in my bio, it's the link that's in there. And so what this is, and I'll quickly, I think I shared it with you guys last time. Let me get it going. Knots of Grace dash VIP. So, and let me share my screen. I said this was going to be quick, and we're at 10 minutes. It won't be too much longer, I promise. Okay, there it is. So, what this is a link where you can find all of the places that you know, on the web and so forth, where you can find Knots of Grace. And like I said, I'm going to share this in the comments real quick, so that way you have it. Thanks for joining me today. I'm always appreciative of you joining me today during the day, especially on Fridays. That's so much fun. Anyway, so this is where you can find all of our links. So you can see knotsofgrace.com. You can also sign up there to be a VIP. Here's our Etsy shop, our Amazon handmade shop, where all of our listings are, our YouTube channel, which is where we house our Monday hug, our inspirational videos at the moment, as well as the blog. You can find them as well, you know, there as well. But then you can see here, I have a spot where you can actually sign up to become a VIP member on this site as well. So same thing, you become part of our email list. And there's a bunch of other things here too. Oops. Sorry about that. There we go. And then if you guys didn't know, I also sell Chalk Couture, because that is just so much fun. I think maybe that's going to be a feature Friday one of these weeks. But I did wanted to show you that I shared the link. But so there's so many different ways that you can get to Knots of Grace and find our products and share our products. And that's the main reason why I shared it with you. If you're here now, you probably know about us, but sometimes you want to share a little bit more about Knots of Grace. And so that's where you can find that information. But I am going to close up for today and head into the weekend. My daughter's last final is coming up in just probably an hour, and then she will be done with her junior year. And so we're excited to get started on the summer. And I hope you guys are going to have a wonderful weekend filled with sun and some smiles. All right, until next week, take care. Bye bye.